Hey everyone, my name is Gamer Corey and welcome back to another Red Dead Redemption 2 Online video. And in this video, I want to discuss the release notes of the new upcoming updates that Rockstar is planning to release later this spring. Now, most of this information is taken directly right off of Rockstar Games' website and the Newswire specifically, but they do say that it's actually coming later this spring, so it's not actually what came out the other day, the 1.07 update. It's saying that the next major update is planned to arrive later this spring. Technically, spring hasn't even started, but they're saying later this spring, so it's going to be happening over the next couple of months. But what I would like to do is go ahead and read part of that article to you guys, and then kind of discuss my feelings and opinions kind of behind what they're actually talking about. So the first thing that the Newswire article actually says is, with each passing week, we continue to add more to the Red Dead Online beta, and over the next 4 weeks, we'll bring new showdown modes and racing modes, as well as a new free roam event that launched earlier today. That was a couple days ago. Alongside incorporating player feedback and addressing existing issues, the beta period has allowed us to lay the groundwork for the more advanced aspects of Red Dead Online that is still yet to come. Our experience of building other online worlds has helped us create a more evolved foundation for the open spaces of Red Dead Online, but the world of Red Dead Online will evolve in its own unique direction. One in which players will have a greater freedom to customize their playstyle uniquely over time, and allowing them to sink into the world and their character and feel more connected to the experiences of living as a cowboy, outlaw, or gunslinger in the wilds of 19th century America. Now, the next thing that they actually go over is they talk a little bit about the hostility system, which is kind of the law and bounty system that we kind of know as of right now. Now, this has only been in place for a few weeks, and a lot of people, including myself, really hate the system. So the first time that I read over this, I was like, you know what? This actually makes a lot of sense, and I'm hoping that the way that they have it written and the way that it's kind of in my mind is actually how they address a lot of the issue. So it's going to be quite amazing. So let's go ahead and talk about the hostility system that they say in the Newswire article. The hostility system builds upon the anti-griefing measures added in February, with smarter and more responsive features that keep players immersed in the world throughout confrontations and PvP action. For example, players who have damage inflicted on them by attackers will be able to defend themselves without incurring bounties or hostility increases. Previously, the attacker and the target would also be marked as an enemy. Now the attacker who inflicts the damage that actually causes the initial damage will be the immediate marker as the enemy to the attacked player. Players will not be, they will not be marked as hostile by defending themselves going forward. And the hostility increases for killing other players who are marked as an enemy. So basically, if an attacker, the way that's in my mind and the way that I hopefully read it correctly, is that if a person comes and griefs you, you have every right to defend yourself, and the more times that you can go after that person as many times as you want and not have any issues or bounty or add-on. But every time that the person that kills you, they will actually have a hostility marker increase, because they're the ones that initialized and started the conflict, which I think is absolutely amazing, because now you have every right to completely go back, and what I like to do is go after the griefer without having to have bounty systems after you. Now, if I'm completely wrong, please leave a comment down below, because that's the way that I take it. But let's go ahead and continue on. Hostility increases will not apply within structured events such as free roam events, free roam missions, showdowns, and races. Engaging in player versus player behaviors related to these free roam missions will not incur hostility increases. However, attacking other players not engaged in the activity will cause your hostility levels to rise. The hostility system has many more functions that will help balance experiences for all different play styles, which I think is honestly absolutely fantastic, that they have listened to a lot of the negativity and the player feedback with the current law and bounty system, and I'm really glad that they decided to kind of change it to what it is going to be over the next coming months, sometime later this spring. Now, the next thing that they actually kind of talk about is the offensive and defensive playing style options. Some players just want to immerse themselves in the world, riding, hunting, fishing in peace. Can't stress that enough. The word peace is actually in their article. We want to offer these options by allowing players to coexist comfortably alongside other players within the world. The offensive playing style is much like the current free roam play as we know it, while the defensive playing style is a more evolved version of a passive mode concept. It's designed for Red Dead Online's more grounded experience, giving players more flexibility in how they interact with the world, and at the same time de-emphasizing hostile contact with other players. Choosing the defensive option introduces balances that complement the less confrontational approach, which is players like myself. I don't really go after anybody unless I'm attacked first, and then I get a little pissed off, and then I'm going to attack you as many times as I want. Right now with the current system, I don't attack anybody. I just lobby hop because I don't want the bounty. I don't want to have to pay for it. I don't want to have to deal with it. But now with this new hostility changes, the original attackee is not going to get it's not going to get penalized for that, which I think is really a nice option. Choosing the defense mode will, like I already had said, it's the defensive players cannot be lassoed by rival players. Although a defensive player lassos another player, they'll be removed from the defensive play style and will incur a significant hostile level increase. Defensive players will trade the ability to lock onto other players for the benefit that other players will not be able to lock onto them. So basically, it's going to create a, what did they call that? Oh my gosh, the ability card. Why can I not remember what it's actually called? But basically, you can't log onto each other. It's completely escaping my mind right now. But the ability card is used by higher level people, and its counterpart would be painted black, and for whatever reason I can't remember what the actual name for it actually is. But anyway, moving on. While defensive players can target and be targeted in free aim, they cannot deliver or receive critical hits. If a defensive player is attacked with a headshot, they'll survive and be able to defend themselves via the hostility system or escape, all while remaining defensive. There are several other adjustments that will come with the defensive playing style, all of which are built to work seamlessly with systems like the hostility and bounties to keep all players rooted in the world. Now, the article kind of goes on to talk about a couple of the new additions, which it's kind of broadening the areas and things that we already know, which has been kind of the talk of the town for a really long time and the talk of the community. There's going to be more of the Land of Opportunity missions that will continue Jessica Leclerc's search for revenge as you explore the path of the gunslinger or an outlaw. Now, at the very end of the missions for the online portion of the game, it talks about, now we've only defeated one and there's still two other players or two other people out there. So we can kind of assume that each person that we're going after will kind of create that long of a mission continuing for each person. So however long we've had for however many missions there were in the first set, they should be in the next set and then also in the third set. It could continue over time and go beyond Jessica Leclerc's search for revenge, and maybe there'll be some other side missions, but that's for future time to tell, and I'm just kind of speculating at this point in time. New free roam missions will givers and mission types, or it gives new mission types. On Red Dead Online is set in the years before the single-player story, so expect to encounter a range of new and familiar faces as you traverse the frontier. Now, that is awesome. I think that is really cool that they're going to put the characters like Arthur and even Dutch inside of the game, and you're going to be able to kind of not maybe interact with them, but there's going to be things that are going to be in there that we're going to see them be a part of the story, and maybe we'll see the events of Blackwater actually take place. How cool would that be? The introduction of the dynamic events, fight off ambushes, initiate rescues, defend folks in need, and more as you travel across the world. All this plus updates to the character creator. Okay, now they are talking about the character creator, and this is what I found really interesting the first time I read it, is are we going to be able to change our character slightly? Does that mean that we're going to be able to modify what we've already created and not have to necessarily worry about erasing everything that is currently out there? I don't know. Only time will tell. Reconstructed daily challenges that eliminate hostile gameplay in free roam, which is amazing, and I've been complaining about that from the beginning. And introduce streaks for bigger rewards. The return of another classic weapon, the Lamont revolver from the original Red Dead Redemption, and much, much more. So anyway, that is really all that the article actually says, but it doesn't talk about the update that came, except for that there was a new free roam mission that was included in the release earlier today, which is actually a couple days ago. That's the only thing that they mention that has been introduced in the 1.07 update. So we still really don't know what stealth updates they had in the 1.07 version, but I'm sure over time we'll figure that out. And I haven't really noticed any changes. I definitely didn't notice any changes in the showdown matchmaking, but maybe some other people noticed it, but I personally did not. But that is all the time that I have for in today's video. Please let me know what your guys' comments and thoughts are about some of these updates. I'm personally very excited for them. We'll get to see more of the mission. We get to kind of deal with more hostility, players or hostile players in a different and exciting way. And Slippery Bastard is the name of the card that I was trying to think of earlier, and it kind of will give us an opportunity to escape, or we could come out of defensive mode and actually target our attacker, which is kind of fun and unique. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're already doing it, and you guys stay gaming.